Your future self is sending you a message, loud and clear. This isn't just another video. It's not random. It's not by chance. You're here because you are meant to hear this. Something within you is ready to awaken. The old parts of you that were built on fear, hesitation, and doubt are crumbling. And what's rising? Something more powerful than you've ever allowed yourself to become. This is your moment to remember. To remember your strength, your truth, your fire. You may think you've been stuck, spinning in the same cycles, repeating the same pain. But what if I told you those weren't punishments? They were preparations. Every heartbreak, every delay, every closed door, it was life rerouting you. Because your future self couldn't afford for you to stay in places where your soul would be silenced. So everything that felt like a loss was actually divine redirection. You were being led, not abandoned. Your future self isn't some distant version of you. It's the real you. The you beyond survival. The you beyond fear. It's the version of you that never gave up, that broke through every illusion and limitation, that stopped settling for less, and finally remembered how powerful they truly are. That version of you is not fantasy. It's already inside you, waiting for permission to rise. So take a breath right now. Feel it. You've survived so much. You've carried pain quietly. You've smiled through storms. You've loved people who couldn't love you back. And you've still kept going. That kind of resilience, that's not ordinary. That's sacred. That's divine. That's the kind of strength the world doesn't always see. But the universe never forgets. And now it's time to let that strength lead you. Your future self is whispering, stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop waiting for someone to choose you. Stop thinking you're too late. You're not. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're just on the edge of transformation. And to cross that edge, all you need is a shift. A shift in how you see yourself. A shift in what you believe is possible. You've been dimming your light for too long, trying to fit into spaces that were never meant to hold your greatness. It's time to stop playing small. The world needs you awakened, alive, lit from within. That fire you feel in your chest when you imagine a bigger life. That's not a fantasy. That's your calling. And it won't let you go until you answer it. Yes, there will be fear. Yes, it will be uncomfortable. Growth always is. But nothing is more painful than staying in a life that doesn't match your soul. You already know what that feels like. Now it's time to find out what it feels like to rise, to be bold, to move with faith, even when the path isn't clear. You don't need a 10-step plan. You just need one moment of truth. One deep decision, a soul decision, a moment where you say, no more. No more shrinking, no more waiting, no more denying yourself the love, success, and peace you were born for. You've given everyone else your time, your energy, your loyalty. Now it's your turn. Your future self is cheering for you every time you choose healing over hiding. Every time you choose your path over pleasing others. Every time you show up when it would be easier to quit. And even on the days when it feels like nothing is working, trust this. Your life is not falling apart. It's falling into place. But the version of you that will thrive in that new life, that version has to be born now. You were never meant to just survive. You were meant to create, to thrive, to lead, to heal, to love deeply and live fully. But somewhere along the way, you were taught to shrink, to suppress your voice, to be small enough to not disturb the world around you. And so you learn to dim yourself, to be nice instead of powerful, to be acceptable instead of authentic. But the real you has always been burning underneath the surface. That fire never died. It just got buried under fear, pain, and conditioning. But fire doesn't forget how to burn, and you don't forget how to rise. Even if you've fallen 1,000 times, something inside you keeps whispering, "You were made for more." That voice? That's your future self, and it's getting louder for a reason. Now is the time to be honest. Not cruel, not critical, just deeply honest. Because honesty is the first step toward freedom. Your future self needs you to look in the mirror and say, "I forgive myself for forgetting who I am, but I'm ready to remember now." You see, the future doesn't change just because time passes. It changes when you change, when you choose differently, when you decide that the pain of staying the same is greater than the fear of evolving. That's when timelines shift. That's when destiny activates. So if you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. The version of you who has already healed, already succeeded, already found love, already created a life of joy. They're calling you forward. And you don't need to know every step. You just need to say yes to the next one. Yes to letting go of what's been holding you back. Yes to releasing the pain you've carried too long. Yes to showing up for yourself like you always show up for others. Because every time you choose yourself, the universe expands around you. Every time you align with your truth, your path gets clearer. Not easier, but clearer. Your future self didn't get there by accident. They got there because you decided to stop betraying yourself for comfort. And yes, healing will feel messy. Change will feel uncomfortable. There will be days you question everything. But on those days, remind yourself, this isn't the end. This is the middle. The messy, magical middle where the old falls apart so the real you can rise. And when it gets hard, talk to your future self. Imagine them standing with you, stronger, wiser, smiling at you, thanking you. Not because you're perfect, but because you were brave enough to try again, to keep going, to believe in a future you couldn't see yet, but still chose to walk toward. This is what it means to shift your life. Not overnight, but breath by breath, thought by thought, choice by choice. You don't become your highest self in a single moment. You return to it, slowly, steadily, one act of courage at a time. So today, make a vow to yourself. I will not abandon myself again. Not for fear, not for comfort, not for approval. Because the version of you that has everything you desire, they are not built on fear. They are built on fire. You don't need to force a better life. You need to align with it. And that starts with reclaiming your energy from everything that no longer deserves it. From the people who drain you. From the stories that keep you small. From the habits that numb your potential. Because where your energy goes, your life follows. Your future self lives in a different frequency. One of clarity, peace, direction, joy. And to meet them there, you need to raise your inner vibration. That means cleansing not just your mind, but your soul. It means forgiving yourself for what you didn't know before. It means letting go of shame you were never meant to carry. This isn't just mindset work, it's spiritual work. You were never meant to navigate this world on logic alone. You are more than a brain. You are a soul. You are a field of light. And that light has been dimmed by trauma, by noise, by false beliefs, but it has never gone out. Your job isn't to create your light. It's to remove what's covering it. So breathe. Return, realign. You don't have to do everything. You just have to do the next aligned thing. Maybe that means saying no to what's draining you. Maybe it means moving your body, journaling your truth, deleting the app that keeps you comparing your journey. Small shifts, big results. Every time you protect your energy, you honor your future self. The truth is, you were never powerless. You were just disconnected from your body, from your intuition, from your inner wisdom. The world taught you to look outside for answers, but your soul has always known the way. And the more you silence the noise, the louder your truth becomes. Your future self lives in that clarity, in that inner knowing, in that sacred trust. They are not afraid to let go, because they know what's meant will stay. They are not afraid to speak up, because they've made peace with who they are. They are not afraid to start over, because they know their worth isn't tied to outcomes. And you? You are becoming that version of you right now. With every word you hear, with every truth that stirs your heart, you are remembering, realigning, reclaiming your life from everything that was never truly yours. So stop asking, what if it doesn't work out? Start asking, what if it does? What if the version of you who is peaceful, successful, loved, and free? What if they're only 3 decisions away? What if all that's holding you back is one outdated story? Let that story go. You are not the version of you that failed. You are not the one who got rejected, abandoned, left behind. That was an experience, not your identity. Your soul is bigger than your past, and your path is brighter than your fear. You are allowed to rewrite it all. This is your reset. This is your shift. This is the moment where you stop running and start remembering. Your future self is standing at the edge of everything you've ever wanted, reaching out. But only you can decide to take the step. Only you can rise.